Hey everybody, Sid Rosenberg here with former NFL safety Matt Bowen, formerly of the Washington Redskins, now of the National Football Post, breaking down the divisional showdowns between the top-seeded Saints and the defending NFC champion Cardinals this Saturday, coming up at 4:30 Eastern Time. Matt, the Cardinals prevailed in a shootout against the Packers last week. Can they go toe-to-toe with Drew Brees and an offense that scored 510 points this season?
Well, I think they're going to be a tough matchup. I mean, what's the over has got to be set at about 60. There's going to be a lot of points scored. You know that's it. A lot of points. You know, one thing that's going to be interesting to watch is how Greg Williams, the Saints defensive coordinator, approaches this game. He's going to see that tape from last week, see that the Packers basically got their asses handed to them playing man coverage. So how are they going to respond? They're going to play some zone. They're going to pressure Warner more. You're going to have to do some things to disrupt that offense. And for Arizona, I mean, their secondary looked atrocious against Aaron Rodgers, so they're going to have to make some adjustments too. I expect a lot of points in another shootout.
Yeah, so do I. Last week, Arizona, 96 points scored in that Green Bay game, over 900 yards of total offense. The question now is about New Orleans, though, Matt, here. Can they just flip the switch back? You know, they haven't won a game in a month. They ended the season with 3 straight losses. They were off last week. They have literally not won a football game in a month. Can they just turn that switch right back on?
You know, I think they can because that's what Arizona did last year. You know, I think playoff football is a little different. If you can get on a roll, if they can start fast, you know, have a good first quarter, have a good first half, go into the half with the lead, they can get that confidence back and they'll be okay. We saw it from Arizona. We saw it from Philly last year in the playoffs too. Teams can, I don't want to say they turn it on, but they get hot. They get off to a good start. And with Brees, they're very capable of doing that. They do that with Brees in the running game. I think they're going to score some points.
Let's talk about the Saints defense. Larry Fitzgerald, 2 more touchdowns last week, but they got a bunch of guys. Preston, early Doucette. But the main guy here with Bolden being out is Larry Fitzgerald. Can he be contained this weekend?
Well, I think anyone can contain Fitzgerald. I mean, we saw it last week. I mean, Woodson won Defensive Player of the Year. He struggled against him. The guy's a beast. He's physical. He can push off. He can get open underneath or over the top of the safety. I think Darren Sharper's got to play really good, Sid. You know, Darren Sharper hasn't made a lot of plays since about, the midway point of the season. He's slowed down a little bit. He's an older player. You know, maybe this rest helps him. He's going to have to make some plays, get his hands on the football. Because if you give Drew Brees field position in this game, the Saints are going to roll.
Last one, 30 seconds here. Kurt Warner is already headed to the Hall of Fame, but if he gets back to the Super Bowl again this year with Arizona, what do you think that puts Kurt Warner in the hierarchy of all-time greats?
Well, I mean, think about it. Everyone always brings up that little gap, that gap when he's playing for the Giants and bouncing around. The guy's really good. I was lucky enough to play with him in St. Louis. He's one of the most accurate passers of all time, one of the best leaders of all time. You got to put him up there. So if they get back to the Super Bowl again this year, what's that, 4 Super Bowl appearances for him? You got to put him up there.
All right, finally, then it's time for a prediction here. Matt, will it be the number 1 seed Saints moving on, or does Kurt Warner, I should say, get one step closer to that 4th Super Bowl?
I'm still going to take the Saints at home. It's hard to pick. I think there are going to be a lot of points scored, and I think Warner's going to play great. When it comes down to it, I think you'll see the Saints run the ball a little bit better, and that's going to be the difference on Saturday. I'm taking the Saints.
All right, there you have it. It's the Saints and the Cardinals, and Matt Bowen likes the Saints.